There's also a lot of great basketball players from Akron, Ohio. You got
familiar
LeBron
with any of
James, Steph Curry.
Steph Curry, too.
And Rachel DeMita.
The big three.
I mean, the big three.
That's
Come
the big
on.
three. That's
Come
all you
on
need
now.
to win a championship.
Come on now.
That's all you need.
What's up, you guys? I'm Rachel DeMita, and welcome to the Courtside Club. I'm so excited because today Ian Karmel is joining me, comedian, co-head writer.
Yeah.
The Late Late Show.
That's right.
With James Corden.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining me today.
It's such a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Not only are you known for your work in television,
Right.
but you're known for being an avid sports fan.
My philanthropy, my equestrian career, 2 gold medals.
All the things.
All the things I do, yeah.
I was most intrigued by your NBA fandom.
Yes.
And most specifically, your Portland Trail Blazers fandom.
Is there any other kind? Not this season.
This season.
I think if you like basketball, you like the Portland Trail Blazers.
I was going to say, how are you feeling about this season?
I feel amazing. I feel like I have made the decision this season, because when you get really into basketball, how we're into basketball, you start to you're like, well, if they're winning all these close games, statistically, that's going to regress towards the mean at some point, and they're going to lose some close games too. They can't win all the close games. I'm completely unreasonable about the team.
But you're from Portland.
I'm from
so
Portland,
it makes
Oregon.
Sense. Okay.
Yes. I'm from Portland. We don't have a lot of other options, although the Portland Thorns are the women's soccer team, just won the NWSL championship.
Okay.
And we have the Timbers as well, of course.
Right.
But when I was growing up, it was just the Trailblazers. That's pretty much all we had.
Who is your favorite Trailblazer of all time?
It's probably Damian Lillard now.
Okay.
But if I had to go non-Damian Lillard division, it's a tie between Rasheed Wallace and Jerome Kersey. Because I think in each of us, there's a Rasheed Wallace and a Jerome Kersey. A Rasheed Wallace, the hothead, your id, your animal instinct. You know what I mean? The part of you that wants to act out of emotion. And then there's the Jerome Kersey, just a lovely man with very soft hands and a beautiful jump shot.
Don't hate me for this,
Yes.
but I only remember Rasheed from being in Detroit.
I don't recall that era of Rasheed Wallace, actually.
Really?
Did he was on the Pistons?
Yeah.
No,
with Ben Wallace, Rip Hamilton,
None of that is
Chauncey
That
Billups.
sounds familiar to me.
That was a fun
I think
team.
that might have been like a 2K simulation, that happened
you
like that.
blacked that memory out of
I
your
remember
brain.
Rasheed Wallace. He was traded to the Atlanta Hawks and then he retired. I think was what I was.
Okay.
No, a lot of people. I know he won the championships with.
Wait, I can't tell if you're pulling my leg right now or
I'm
if you
pulling your
really
leg.
don't remember.
I'm pulling your leg.
Okay, so you do remember.
Absolutely, I
Okay, I'm just making sure. I'm like, wait a second.
I'm choosing to delete it from my memory. No, I know he was. Yeah, he won his championship with the Pistons. I understand that, but I think Portland Trailblazer fans. There was a weird gulf because if you were the media in Portland at the time, it was like the Jailblazer era. They hated Rasheed. They thought him getting technical fouls was immature and everything.
Yeah.
And now, but if you were younger when all that was happening, like what I was and my friends were, I think you just loved it because
cool.
it was cool.
Yeah.
He was like a rebel like that, and he was also amazing at basketball. And those teams were good. You know, if it weren't for Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant, we would have been in the finals in 2001, and then we probably would have won the championship that year.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda, which is the story of being a Portland Trailblazers fan. Woulda, coulda, shoulda drafted Michael Jordan, Kevin Durant, Chris Paul, any number of people, rather than Martell Webster. Although Martell Webster, not as good as Chris Paul.
I was gonna say, a little bit different, no shade, but I'm a Cleveland sports fan, so I understand to a certain extent.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah, well,
Some things don't always go our way.
You could have understood up until a few years ago.
Yeah.
When
LeBron came back.
Yeah,
but he had to leave first.
He did.
And crush all of us first, you know.
Right, he had to break your heart to truly win it back.
Right.
He's kind of like a rom-com basketball player in that way, isn't he? You had to have the second act where LeBron leaves, breaks everybody's heart. Right. Maybe there's a sad Elliott Smith song playing during this part of the movie.
You never miss a good thing till it leaves, right?
Till it leaves. And then he comes running back in the airport. Kevin Love and
it's
Kyrie
raining.
standing there. It's raining.
They hug. They spin around.
They spin around. The camera goes around. There's beautiful music playing. They kiss or not, depending on how you picture this in your head. And then you win a championship. Finally, because for Cleveland, it was 3 teams, no championship since like the 60s, right? Something like that?
Yeah.
Rough.
It was a long time.
It's a long time.
But it felt good.
Yeah.
And Cleveland's good this year, too.
Oh, my God.
So I'm really excited about this team.
You have to be over the moon right now.
It's a good team.
Who's your favorite part of this team right now?
Honestly, I just love the fact it's a bunch of young guys.
Yeah.
And it's not one of these super teams that is like a forced mix of all of these good players. Of course, we have a superstar in Donovan Mitchell. But it's more so like the GM, the coach there, are putting these guys together, and it's a good mix.
And it works.
It's a good chemistry.
It's an organic, farm-to-table Cleveland Cavaliers team.
And they showed a little bit of what they were capable of last season. There were some injuries and whatnot. But, you have the young guys. You have even, like, Mobley and Darius
Garland.
Yes, Garland. Yeah. And we have obviously Donovan Mitchell, and Kevin Love is still there.
Kevin Love is still there.
He's just kind of that
Oregon's
anchor,
own Kevin Love, by the way.
Okay.
Lake Oswego. Grew up not far from where I grew up. Oregon, actually, surprisingly, a lot of NBA players from Oregon. You have Kevin Love.
There's also a lot of great basketball players from Akron, Ohio.
I'm not.
You got LeBron James, Steph Curry.
Steph Curry, too.
And Rachel DeMita.
The big 3.
I mean, the big 3.
That's the big 3. That's all you need to win a championship.
Come on now.
That's all you need.
Speaking of championships, teams.
Yes.
Okay. When I was prepping for this interview, I came across something so interesting that I thought was amazing. It was you dancing at halftime.
Oh, no.
But here's the kicker. I was like, why does this look so familiar?
Yeah.
I was at that game.
You were at that game?
I was at that game.
Oh, my God.
So for our courtside listeners, can you break it down?
Yes.
What went on during that halftime performance?
So it was for this TV show Game On, which was like a CBS like sports game show. It was me, Gronk, Venus Williams, and James Corden, just 4 of the greatest athletes of all time. And one of our challenges was to learn from the Laker girls how to do like a halftime Laker girls dance. So Venus picked it up really quick.
She was great, a
sharp.
star.
I mean, she's so sharp. She's brilliant. She's so smart, so athletic. Gronk and I worked with a dance instructor for 4 hours behind the scenes, trying to like nail all these dance moves.
Was it day of?
It was the day of.
Okay.
She came to the studio, and then we went to, at the time, Staples Center. And up until the very last second, we were working on these dance moves. James Corden walks in, because he's a Broadway guy, learned the entire thing in like 10 minutes, and then was having like a Perrier in the corner. It was one of the most humiliating things in my life. And then I kept asking the producers, I'm so glad I get to set the record straight. Over and over again, I was like, is there any way I can not wear Laker gear? Is there any way I can have like a blazer shirt underneath this where I pull off the Laker shirt, and at the end, there's like a pinwheel there?
Right.
No. They were like, you can't do it. You absolutely can't do it. At no point can you do it. So I do want people to know, I had a Blazers t-shirt on underneath the Laker gear, closer to my heart.
Okay.
Not for everybody in the crowd to see, not for Rachel DeMita to see, but close to my heart, where the Blazers live 24/7.
So was your career on the line? Like, if you didn't do this dance, you would have been fired or something?
They said they would have cut me out of the sketch, and the only thing I love more than the Portland Trail Blazers is attention.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the reason. This is really what it comes down to. I'm just kidding. It was great. I saw it live with my own eyes, and the fact that I still remembered that performance 3 years later,
it speaks to the quality of the dance.
That's a testament of your dance moves.
That's right. Yeah. Thank you very much.
I do want to ask, though, why do you hate the Lakers so much?
I mean, there's layers. There is 2001 when they sent us home. When we were up like 16 going into the fourth quarter. We should have won. We should have then gone on to win the finals.
So you still remember this moment?
I still remember. I still remember sitting on the floor punching like the dark green carpet at my mom's house, just like, no. It was traumatic. Like Kobe threw an alley-oop to Shaq, who hit it and then ran down the court like pointing. It just like I felt the polar opposite of how he felt. I was just like rending inside. I felt like it was torturous. But there was that, and then there's just like Lakers fans who just run the gamut in LA. They're
awful.
So
I'll
obnoxious.
say it.
They are online. Anytime you have like a good player on your team, the amount of different Blazers players I've had to see like hastily photoshopped into Lakers gear is like insane. Anyone whose contract is coming up and they're even like kind of good. I've had to see Sebastian Telfair photoshopped into Lakers gear. You know what I mean? It's just like, get over yourselves. When LaMarcus Aldridge took a meeting with them and they blew it so hard that he took a second pity meeting with them, like he was someone who went on like because he didn't want to hurt somebody's feelings, like a second date just to let him down easy. That was one of the great moments of my life as a Blazer fandom. And they can say that the Lakers live rent-free in my head. And that's fine. A lot of things live rent-free in my head. There's a picture of
you got a lot of space in there.
I got a lot of space in there. It's huge. It's a massive, like, Soviet-era, like, block of housing. Another thing that lives rent-free in my head is a picture of a guinea pig wearing a top hat playing a French horn. And that's fine. I like having it there.
At least you have, like, some cute things in
There's
there.
some cute things in there.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's like, it's not like this room we're in right now. It's not modern. It's not clean. It's not minimalist. It is like a teenage girl's like corkboard in my brain.
That should be a skit.
That should be a sketch.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But give me like a EP credit, you know?
I'll give you
writer credit.
I'll give
something.
you co-head writer credit.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Co-head lead writer,
Co-head
as I would say.
Lead writer. Just church it up as much as you can.
Right?
Yeah.
So I want to get more into your co-head lead writing.
Yes.
Comedian facet of your life.
The
but
3% of my life that's not dedicated to the Blazers.
This like tiny space in this community you
corkboard.
have in your brain. Yeah. But first I'd like to take a halftime break. I know you're familiar with the show.
Yes.
We like to play a little game at halftime. And today for you, I have NBA trivia.
Okay.
But it's a simple true or false, so we're not going to go too crazy.
This is good warm up for I've been trying to get on Jeopardy for the entire time I've been an adult. So anytime to do trivia under pressure, I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
So we have some NBA, which is perfect for you. We're going to start off with some Blazers.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, I think you got this.
This is going to be so embarrassing
All
if
right.
I get any of this wrong.
True or false? Damian Lillard only needs 2,000 more points in order to pass Clyde Drexler as Portland's all-time point leader. Only needs 2,000 more points.
I think it's less than that. I think he's closer than that. I know he's really, really close, and I think he's going to pass it this season.
So true or false?
I'm going to say false because I don't think it's 2,000 exactly. I think it's less than 2,000.
That's correct.
Yes!
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah. What is it at right now?
So Dame only needs less than 1,000 points to pass Clyde. We'll have to check at the like exact number
by the time this post, with the way at the rate he's been scoring, he might have it by now. He might go for 1,000 next game.
So I know that you're not probably excited about this one, but LeBron also has a points milestone that he's going for this season as well.
I much like Lakers fans, I don't consider him a Laker. So which is another weird thing about Lakers fans. He won you a championship. It doesn't count as much as the other championships, but he still did it. I consider him a Cleveland Cavalier.
Okay.
Which I think you probably joined me
I would
in, right?
love to keep him as a Cleveland Cavalier,
well,
but
he might be back.
I know.
Yeah.
They might need to do something to turn around this season, to say the least. Okay, the Portland Trail Blazers' longest winning streak is 16 consecutive games.
True.
That's correct.
Yeah.
The Blazers won 16 consecutive games in the 90-91 season.
Good
so it's
year.
been a while.
Good year, 90-91.
All right, next up, the Trailblazers' longest losing streak is 13 consecutive games.
Oh, boy. 13. That doesn't seem like us. I'm going to say false.
False?
Yeah.
Well, it's true.
No! When? What year?
So this was during the 2012-2013 season.
Okay.
13 to me doesn't seem that bad.
13 is not so bad.
Over like the whole timeline of the, you know.
Going back to 1971.
Right.
Or 70, whenever we were founded. Yeah. Yeah, that's not so. 13 is not so bad.
No.
Is that. Who did we get in the draft that year? Was it even worth it? 13. I have no idea.
If you know this, you get bonus points.
I get bonus points,
because I
but
have
don't
no clue.
know it. I will say that I didn't think we'd lost that many because the experience of being a Blazers fan is consistent pretty goodness.
Okay.
That's like what it is. We're like consistently pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Rarely amazing, almost never terrible, consistently pretty good.
Consistently middle of the pack.
That's what I shoot for in my career as a comedian, actually, too.
Consistently mediocre.
Yeah.
All right. The Celtics and the Lakers are the only two teams in the NBA that have never moved. Mm-hmm. And this is from the start of the NBA.
Oh, okay. Oh, that makes sense. All right. From the very beginning.
The very beginning of the NBA.
False.
That is false.
Yeah, the Lakers moved.
The Lakers did move.
The Lakers moved.
So do you know what other team? The Celtics is one that has not moved.
Yeah.
Do you know what the other team is that has never moved?
But this is the
original
OGs.
teams.
The original teams.
Yes. Sorry, I didn't clarify.
The New York Knicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
Celtics and Knicks.
A rare win for the Knicks.
All right, last but not least, Michael Jordan was picked second in the 1984 NBA draft.
I don't want to answer this question. I don't want to talk about it.
Wait, am I opening an old wound?
This is a mortal wound. No, Hakeem Olajuwon at the time went first out of Houston. Second, because we already had Clyde Drexler, who I think anyone would agree was a fantastic shooting guard for a long time in the NBA. Amazing. Led the team to the finals. Fantastic basketball player. Went on to win a ring with the Houston Rockets. Congratulations to him. One of the rare dudes who lets himself go bald and still balls out of control in the NBA, which I think LeBron should have done a long time ago. Because we already had him, we took Sam Bowie second. And Michael Jordan won third. And then, much like Rasheed Wallace's Detroit career, I choose to sort of black out whatever happened after that.
That's rough.
It hurt.
Could you imagine?
I wasn't even born yet, and it still hurt.
Could you imagine 2 3-peats as a Blazer?
No, I honestly can't.
I can't either.
The cognitive dissonance makes my brain fall apart. I can't do it. It probably would have happened, too, because we were so close just with Clyde Drexler. Mm-hmm. We had an amazing team. Kevin Duckworth, we got Buck Williams for Sam Bowie. So we did that trade. But we had like a good team. We had a good basketball. Mm-hmm. Danny Ainge was on those teams weirdly. No, I can't imagine that. We also, if we're opening old wounds, took Greg Oden, another great Ohioan.
Ohio State,
over Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So your answer is false because you knew who was picked second.
It was false.
Because your team was doing the choosing.
Most Blazers fans have that encoded into our DNA.
Tough.
Yeah, real tough.
Well, actually, you did a really great job with the quiz, though, with the trivia. I think you're ready for Jeopardy!
Thank you very much.
Whenever you'd like to go ahead and make your appearance there.
Yeah.
And with that, it's time for the second half.
Let's do it.
It's the best time of the year. Football season is in full swing, basketball and hockey have returned, and nothing beats seeing your favorite team live. Make up for lost time and go enjoy a game. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN, is offering you $10 off your first $100 ticket purchase with code Courtside. That's code Courtside. Download the app or visit vividseats.com today. Vivid Seats. Life happens live.
All right, people, we're brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook, the greatest sports betting app of all time. See, it's not just about the daily promos, odd boosts, or the hundreds of ways to wager. It's about the immortal words of Caesar himself. You bet, you get with Caesars Rewards. Every bet you place on the app, no matter the outcome, earns towards exclusive perks at Caesars Rewards destinations everywhere. Hotel stays, concert tickets, bonuses, and more. Download the Caesars Sportsbook app, become a Caesars Rewards member today, and get more with every wager. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call or text 1-800-522-4700.
So I want to talk a little bit about Late Late with James Corden.
Yeah.
Co-lead writer there.
That's right.
How did you guys meet?
We met not far from here, actually. We met, I'm a stand-up comedian, too, and I had written on Chelsea Handler's show for a year, right when I moved from Portland, Oregon, top of the food chain, greatest city in the world, to Los Angeles. I wrote for Chelsea lately, her show for a year, and then her show went off the air. And
I love that show.
It was so much fun.
It was really fun.
She's fantastic. Shout out to Chelsea Handler. So that was a blast. That was like a great first experience, learning how to be a TV writer and learning how to like take, the way I was funny on stage and translate that into writing for other people. And then I heard from my agent that this guy was taking over the Late Late Show. His name was James Corden. I'd never heard of him. Apparently he was like a big deal in the UK, and he had done some Broadway stuff. So I went and met him, and like what was supposed to be like a half-hour meeting turned into like almost just 2 hours of just like talking, making each other laugh. Like just we got along like immediately. And I got the job there. And so I was one of the first 3 people who worked on the show. Like, I had that job before he even moved here. And now it'll be 8 years in December. It's amazing. And to get to have a job for like almost a decade in Hollywood is like pretty rare.
I was gonna ask you about too your bachelor party.
Oh yeah.
In 90 seconds.
Yeah.
I came across that video on YouTube and I was like, what is this? I was like, that was so good.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah.
It was hilarious. And I also need to know, did you actually take 5 shots? Was that alcohol?
No.
Okay. Because that was the one part that was giving me a lot of anxiety.
No, it's not beyond me to do 5 shots in the span of 90 seconds. But my wedding, that was the Thursday. My actual wedding was Sunday.
Okay.
I wanted to make sure I looked good in that suit. I didn't want to be puffy. I didn't want to do the thing that happens to me when I have 5 shots, which is I have 5 more. And then a whole pizza that I fold over itself like a sandwich. I didn't want to get into that territory a few days before my wedding.
Okay, stand up.
Yes.
I want to ask you a little bit about that because I feel like there's been a little bit of a wave of stand up recently.
Yeah.
To where there's newcomers, but then there's people kind of that we alluded to earlier who are trying to break the mold. There are some comedians that are complaining that comedy is dying in a sense and it's hard to talk about different things. How do you feel about where stand-up and comedy in itself stands right now?
I think stand-up is in a really, really good place right now. I'll talk about that censorship stuff more in a second, but I think just in general, I think there is a middle class forming in a way that there didn't used to be. This is boring industry stuff. I think more people can make a living and tour and everything because of Patreon, because of YouTube, because of TikTok. Mm-hmm. Definitely you can get your stuff out to more people and then you could sort of tour based off that. Whereas before you would there were only a few different paths. You had to try to get that HBO special. You had to try to get that hour on Comedy Central and then build it up that way. And then hopefully you get a sitcom or something like that. So in that way, I think you don't have to rely on the traditional gatekeepers and power brokers. And I think that's amazing and wonderful and so healthy for the business of it and also just for the art side of it. I think the censorship stuff is so stupid. I think everyone's been saying you can't joke about anything anymore since people have been telling jokes. There's literal newspaper headlines from the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, yada, 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 about saying people have gotten too sensitive. People have gotten too sensitive. And I just don't think that's happened at all. You can say whatever you want. What has changed is the people who don't like it have greater access to you. And I think we're now in this baby giraffe period where it's kind of clumsy, where comedians for the first time are getting feedback that is something that's not just a drunk person yelling in a club. They're getting people on Twitter, emailing them, even organizing protests and stuff like that, saying, hey, we don't like when you joke about that. And you have to, as a comedian then, decide how much of that you want to take seriously or how much of that you want to take into account.
Right.
Some people are just edgelords and want to go up on stage and just get a reaction from people.
Yeah.
And if you're expecting that, that's great. You know what I mean? If you want to go see Anthony Jeselnik and you're going to go see an Anthony Jeselnik show, and you're into that kind of thing, there's not a better night you're going to have. You know what I mean? But if you're somebody who's going to see a comedian and you're I'm going to go see a comedian, somebody's going to go see a band, and it turns out to be the best thrash metal band in the world, but you were expecting somebody playing Vivaldi's Four Seasons, you're going to have a different kind of night.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so some of that's on the audience too.
I think you're really right about the state of the internet right now too, because everybody has a voice now.
Yes.
And you don't even get to see everybody. I mean, we see how Twitter is. We see how most of these social media platforms are. Anybody can go into their comments, mine included.
Right.
There's some negativity there. There always will be.
Always will be.
So it is kind of, I think you're right in knowing yourself, knowing your intention of your joke, knowing your own life story, because you are pulling from things that you relate to.
Right.
But you're going to have thick skin as well, just
have to.
being in that industry.
But I think that's where you're 100% right. In anything where you're a public or a forward-facing individual, you're going to have that.
Who is your guaranteed laugh?
My favorite all-time comedian is Eddie Izzard. She's amazing. She's such a fantastic comedian. They had the special Dressed to Kill, and it was the funniest thing I'd ever seen in my life. I didn't know I wanted to be a stand-up comedian, but I was like, whatever that is the best thing I've ever seen. And then I like worked my way backwards into doing it. But as far as like people who are like kind of new and fun right now, I mean, these are boring answers, but like John Mulaney is like amazing. Bill Burr is amazing. Maria Bamford is someone I will watch do stand-up anytime they feel like doing stand-up. God, those are all guaranteed. Kyle Kinane. Yeah. Matt Bronger's so funny. My friend David Bory is an amazing stand-up comedian who I do a podcast with. There's so many. Stand-up is in such a good place right now. It's like Beth Stelling is so funny. God, there's just so many funny comedians.
Do you have a GOAT of stand-up?
Oh man, the greatest. For me, my greatest of all time is Eddie Izzard, but I think like Dave Chappelle, there's no one who's done it better than Dave Chappelle.
Ohioan.
Another Ohioan. A current Ohioan too.
I know. Toledo, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I got a rep for
No,
my
I
state.
do. Are you kidding me? I will do. If any other Oregonian comes up during this at any point, you'll hear from me. Kevin Love. No, Kevin Love. Oregonian, yeah. Oregonian Kevin Love. Terrence Davis, another.
But no, you said Chappelle.
Chappelle. Chris Rock is one of the greatest to ever do it. Jerry Seinfeld is like truly amazing at it. Bill Burr is like one of those people right now where you're like, all these people have gotten to 10. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Very few people have like gotten to 10, and all these people have gotten to 10. Brett Butler. I know that's a weird poll, but like Brett Butler is like one of the funniest people I've ever seen. Roseanne, when she was doing stand-up.
Starting five right there.
That's your starting five. There it is right there.
Starting five on Courtside Club.
That's my starting five.
Okay.
Yeah. All right,
I'll
fantastic. Perfect.
So,
Yeah.
we are reaching the end of the game, so I have some buzzer beaters for you.
Let's do it.
What is your ideal courtside food and drink combo?
Oh, man, that's good. I like... Ooh. So, okay, Portland, Oregon, at the Moda Center. They have a bunch of local restaurants that do food at the Moda Center. So if I can get a pork belly Cubano from Bunk Sandwiches, if I'm doing one of those, and I'm doing like a domestic beer, not anything fancy. I don't want like an IPA. It's going to make me too groggy. It's going to make me feel heavy. I want to save that room for the sandwich. So just like whatever sort of like mass-produced awful beer, I want to drink one of those. We'll take it. Yeah, those are the two.
Who is one person, dead or alive, that you would love to sit courtside with?
Oh, my God. Oh, no. There's so much pressure. I thought I'd be better at this.
See, okay. I told you. The buzzer beaters get everyone.
Dead or alive that I would want to sit courtside with. I want it to be Billy Crystal, and I would like him to be alive. Yeah.
That's the first time I've had that
answer. Billy Crystal, great comedian, great Jewish comedian, one of the all-time funniest dudes. I think he'd have a lot of great stories, and he's an authentic sports fan.
We would like him to be.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was just really funny. And what is one event in history that you would have loved to have been courtside for?
Oh, that's a great.
It could be a sporting event or something else.
Well, I mean, if I could go easy, it would be the Blazers winning the championship in 1977 over the Philadelphia 76ers, and I would like to be there courtside for that, and then courtside for the parades all over Portland, with like Bill Walton riding a bicycle around.
With your domestic beer.
With my domestic beer, which I think we're the only kind at that point. Like a Henry Weinhardt's or something like that. So I think that as far as like easy answers go. And then I'm going to say Cuban Missile Crisis as far as like non-sporting events.
Just like that time period
I would want to be like in the White House when we were like, I think it would have been knowing how it turned out, knowing that we didn't launch nukes at Cuba or Russia or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
But just like watching JFK and that cabinet deal with like all in those like 12 hours where like that almost popped off like that. It would have been, I would have been eating so much popcorn, soft pretzels are my other, if I couldn't go local food option.
With yellow mustard,
soft pretzel, get out of town.
No, but that would actually be really interesting just to be a fly on the wall because you have no clue what the president's talking about during that time.
How close did we really get?
Right?
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
Thank you very much.
Very unique answer.
Thank you very much.
Ian, thank you so much for coming on the Courtside Club.
This was an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. Where can our fans find you? What should we be on the lookout for?
Yes. At Ian Karmel on all the platforms, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Find me on all those. I'm on TikTok now. It's going great.
We'll tag you on TikTok.
Tag
and
me on
also,
TikTok.
Sometimes you're Ian on Twitter. Sometimes you're somebody else.
Oh.
Parentheses parody.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes I was Kyrie Irving for about 45 minutes on Twitter the other day. They were pretty fun 45 minutes.
Can I ask you really quick before I let you go?
As many as you want. Yeah,
okay,
of course.
Did you do that for Kyrie or did you do that to troll Elon?
I did that it served multiple purposes. He was promoting that video he's promoting. I'm a Jew. I'm a Jew whose family, my grandparents survived the Holocaust. We were sorry to get serious, but we've been we've been subject to serious anti-Semitism. So I was like, how do our people respond to problems? Humor. Let me try to have as much fun as I can pretending to be Kyrie. And I fired off some fun tweets as Kyrie. So that was mostly just to just have some fun with what was like a heavy, very serious situation.
But it's very you. I mean, that's how you deal with a lot of things. Like that's in your blood to use comedy to kind of share what you did.
Any problem that comes along, I process it with comedy, which I'm sure my wife would prefer I didn't, but it's just it's what I have to do.
Yeah. So we are back to being Ian on Twitter.
Fully Ian Karmel, although I've kept my picture, Kyrie Irving's weird coexist peace sign.
Okay.
Just as a nod to it. And also, I forgot how to change my profile picture.
Not to be confused by the profile pic. Still have the blue check mark now, but we'll be on lookout for all your socials.
Yes.
Any other shows that you're doing?
Oh, listen to my podcast, All Fantasy Everything. We'd love to have you on my podcast, All Fantasy Everything. Yeah. I think you would like it. We fantasy draft non-sports things. So pop culture.
So fun.
So if you want to come fantasy draft sandwiches or great, you know what you can do? Come on and we'll draft people from Ohio.
1,000% down for
so
that.
Many presidents from Ohio, by the way. I think the most presidents are from Ohio.
Listen, Ohio is the heart of America.
It's the beating heart of America.
Literally.
Yeah.
Shaped like a heart.
It's shaped like a heart. It's right there. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I've been. Had a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Football Hall of Fame.
I've been to the Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Had a great time there too.
Swenson's.
Not familiar.
Burger place. We'll take you when you come.
Okay.
Anyway, we'll listen to your podcast.
Yes.
And we'll tune into your socials for other shows.
Tune into my socials. Watch the Late Late Show.
Perfect.
Celebrate life.
Thank you so much, Ian.
My pleasure.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Cool.
Great high five. Firm high five.
What's up, guys? It's Rachel DeMita. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Courtside Club. Make sure that you like, rate, and subscribe to ESPN's YouTube channel and wherever you listen to your podcasts. We have new episodes coming to you guys every single week, so stay tuned for that, and I'll see you soon.